Oh, thank you. In all 10 minutes before the service started. Um, so my question to you is this. Are you still dancing? Are you dancing with your powers? That's your theme this year, right? At Unity of Greater Heart. Our theme, I'm a member. Are you dancing? Yes. Are you dancing? Okay. Okay. Do you remember when I was here in January, I was so excited about this theme, and I did dance across the stage in January. I did. And I said to you that, it's kind of like, you ever see the meme with the squirrel like this, right? Interpretive dance, right? And that was the image I got immediately. And I invited everybody to keep dancing with these powers. And I'm going to say to you now, with where we are in our country, in our world, it's more important than ever that you keep dancing. Dance with the powers that we already have. Those divine powers, it's really easy to lose track of that, right? It's really easy to get into our human emotions, to get overwhelmed, to feel like there's nothing we can do. There's plenty we can do. And I'm going to invite you this week and next week to continue to think about ways that you can lead by example. We're not going to be able to change people's minds by calling them names. We're not going to be able to bring people to the table unless we're willing to listen to those who have differing opinions. Really, really important. Now, I talk to you about this because this is so hard for me to do, right? So I stand here and I'm not saying it to you like I'm doing it perfect and you guys need to catch up. That's not it. The truth of the matter is that I'm struggling just as much as anybody else at any given moment, right? But I went out to the Unity conference a couple of weeks ago and I was fired up. I was ready to come back here and just, I don't know what. I was very excited. Seeing friends, getting to see new friends make new connections with people that are working between Unity Worldwide Ministries and Unity Worldwide Headquarters. They're trying to come together, right? That's all very exciting stuff. But I wanted to figure out how I could take this talk today and talk to you about that divine power of understanding, spiritual understanding, and how it could relate to what's going on right now. And one of the things I remember saying to you back in January is that changing our thoughts and our actions as our circumstances change, it's just what we need to do, right? We are in charge of our thoughts and our actions. Maybe not that first one. Maybe not that first thought, right? But we're definitely responsible for where we go from here, right? That thought that pops into my head that how could that woman have 12 items in a 10 item or less line at the grocery store? Exactly. Right? It's that second thought. That second thought of, boy, I'm really glad that I could let her do this and she didn't get someone behind her that was going to be angry with her. Now, somebody with 22 items in the 10 item or less, I don't know. All bets are off on that one. I'm not sure how I would handle that. But one of the things that I have been working on as I've been guest speaking at different Unity churches throughout this year so far is this. I've been talking a lot about what do I believe? What do you believe? Do you believe in oneness? Do you believe in the 5 unity principles, that God is love, that God is everywhere present? Do you believe that everyone is inherently good? These are all very challenging questions right now in the world that we're living in, right? And what I've been saying to everybody is this, and I'm going to share it with you, because I think we're on this journey together, and I'll come back next week, and whatever I say here, I'll just follow up on it next week. Who knows, right? But the thing is this. Am I courageous enough? Are you courageous enough to explore your beliefs? To look at them and say, do I still believe that God is everywhere present, even though I'm not seeing it everywhere I look? Look beyond appearances, right? It's hard to do, isn't it? Right? Do I still believe that people are inherently good when I am not seeing that right now? And I will remind you that it does not matter what side of the coin you're on. The anger, the hurt, the frustration, the name calling is from every different direction there is, right? Do I still believe that? Now here's the tricky part, right? If you say, yes, I do believe that God is everywhere present, I do believe that everybody is inherently good, then my next question to you and to myself is this: what am I doing to demonstrate it? I'm not sitting on my couch like a couch potato and going, look, they're doing it wrong, they're doing it wrong, she's doing it wrong, I'm doing it right. Right? It's not about judgment. It's about how can I demonstrate. The more I demonstrate, the more you join me in demonstrating what can be done when we live from a consciousness of abundance, when we live from a consciousness of there is no lack, when we live from a consciousness that God is in everyone, the divine powers are in everyone. How can I demonstrate it? How can I show? That's the best thing that we can do. It's also the hardest right now, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. If your answer is no, what do you mean if your answer is no? Of course I'm supposed to believe that God is everywhere present. Of course I'm supposed to believe that everybody's good. Of course I'm supposed to believe all this, right? What if you ask yourself, do I still believe this? And your answer comes up, I don't know, or a complete no. Sit with it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't judge yourself. What I'm saying to you is don't answer the question based on what you think the right answer is supposed to be. I think the sooner that people get into this authentic way of thinking and diving into it, if you think about it and you come up with a no, sit with it. Why don't I think this way? Be okay with it. No one's going to judge you. I didn't say you have to go out and shout to the rooftops, hey, guess what? I don't believe the 5 unity principles anymore. We're not doing that. Wow. But we're questioning it. The one thing that I learned in unity from the very beginning from my minister was this: that it is okay to question. It is okay to explore. It is okay for me to doubt. It is okay. It is okay. Because sometimes when you explore, other things come up. And I have to be honest with you, I've been exploring this all year long, and I still believe that everybody is inherently good. See me tomorrow, I may be in a totally different frame of mind. But right now, I still believe that. And just because I don't see it, I can look beyond the appearance of however someone is treating me, and I can remember that the Christ presence in me is connected to the Christ presence in them, and so on. To the Christ presence in all of us. I will never say to you that this is easy. It's simple, not easy, right? Because that pesky humanness gets in the way. Right? One of my mentors used to say all the time, I embrace my humanity in order to express my divinity. I embrace my humanity in order to express my divinity. You know what that means? Embracing my humanity means I'm not just embracing the happy times. I'm embracing it all. I'm embracing it when I feel sad. I'm embracing it when I feel angry, when I feel jealous, when I feel any of those human emotions. It's the human reaction. I'm a spiritual being. You are spiritual beings. We are having a human experience together. How many of you have gone through the last, I don't know, I'm just going to say this year. Have you ever felt like, wow, I don't think I can do anything to help? Anybody? Yeah. I feel so small sometimes. Maybe you do too. Like, what am I going to be able to do? I'm here to tell you your example means the world. Your example of what can be done. Not everybody can go out and demonstrate, right? Participate in protests, etc. Not everybody is in a position of power where they can make changes in government or laws or whatever the case may be. We're all in different places. We're also all in different levels of consciousness, right? Some of us are better at living from a consciousness of prosperity and abundance than others. I struggle with that. Just because I'm a minister doesn't mean I'm going to stand up here and tell you that, yeah, I got it. It's all good, right? I struggle with these things from time to time. And this is where that power of understanding can come in. The power of understanding, one of the 12 powers, is the ability to know, to perceive, to comprehend, to spiritually see. Anybody got intuition? Had experiences with intuition? Yes, right? There's lots of times when this stuff happens and we don't always pay attention to it. I'm going to invite you to start paying attention to it a little bit. There's two ways to get understanding, this understanding that I'm trying to talk about. In the Revealing Word, Charles Fillmore writes about 2 ways of getting understanding is by following the guidance of spirit that dwells within, or to go blindly ahead and learn by hard experience. Now, how many of us have learned by the school of hard knocks, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this doesn't mean that it's never going to happen again, just because you've heard this talk, right? But maybe we can soften the blows a little bit. Maybe we can learn a little bit sooner rather than later. Emily Cady wrote in Lessons in Truth, when you first consciously desire spiritual understanding, you do not attain it all at once. Well, darn it. I'm one of those that I want results and I want them yesterday. I don't even want them today. I want them yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. She writes about, as we are trying to grow this spiritual understanding, she writes, we try to love instead of hate. Instead of avenging ourselves, we begin to forgive, even if it costs us great mental effort. Shucks. The things I'm talking to you about today are this. It's all about us, right? We are taking ownership, we are taking accountability, and we're seeing what we can do to make a difference. It doesn't matter if you just make a difference in one person's life and they never tell you about it either, right? I ran into somebody a few weeks ago who had heard me give a talk, and she said, you have no idea, and it had been several years prior to us meeting up again, and she had said to me, you have no idea how important what you said, how much it changed my life. I had no idea. right? So when you say something or you demonstrate something to someone else, you have no idea what kind of an impact you can have on them, because they'll probably never come up to you and tell you. Trust me, every single one of you here in this room has had an impact on others. I know that. I know that because you've all had an impact on me. We've all interacted at one time or another. If it's just a little hello or whatever, or we have a deep conversation back in the community room, right? We end up with a table full of people who have something in common, and we start talking about it, and it gets very animated in a good way, you know? Spiritual understanding. I like to call that power forth, and I like to couple it with the power of wisdom, right? So the spiritual power of understanding is about what we know. It's already in us. We already have the knowledge. Most of it is about us remembering, right? Like, do you go through your day kind of like glancing around and going, yeah, I'm divine, as you're in the grocery store? No, probably not, right? But the power of understanding is that we have this knowledge already within us. The power of wisdom, coupled with that, wisdom helps us to figure out how to use that knowledge in whatever we're trying to do, right? So tie them together. Throw in a little imagination. It's like making a potion, right? We can take these 12 powers and we can mix and match them. They work really well together, no matter what. But the important part, at least for me, is to remember that these are divine powers that I always have 100% access to. You don't have 50% one day and have to recharge the battery, right? How hard is it to remember that during the course of a day, right? So what I'm asking you to do is to join me on this journey and to let's start practicing it. It's all about practice, friends. We're never going to perfect it, but we're striving for excellence. I love striving for excellence rather than perfection. Perfection is overrated, right? I want to keep doing better and better. I want to do better than I did yesterday, and I want today to be better than the day before as well. And I just keep moving forward, and some days are better than others, right? From a human judgment standpoint, right? There's nothing wrong with spirit. The spirit within us is perfect. It's 100% full throttle all the time. All I have to do is remember and use it. And then how do I demonstrate for the world, right? Even if it's a little something where I stand up for somebody who I think is not being treated the way they're supposed to be treated, right? It takes a lot of courage to do that, especially in today's world, you know? It takes a lot of courage to do a lot of things. It takes a lot of courage to just show up here on a holiday weekend. Wouldn't you rather be at the beach, right? But you're here. And I don't get to share these crazy ideas with anybody unless you show up. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it very much. I love inviting people onto the journey with me. You know, there's so much I could say, so I'm going to have to come back next week to, say more. I'm going to leave you with this idea. I want you to think about this question. Does the chaos serve a purpose? Now, there are days when I am inclined to say, absolutely not. That's true. There is no purpose to it whatsoever. And then there are other days where I think, well, maybe. Yeah. Maybe we're striving to break through to something bigger, better, greater. And we decided, before we showed up on Earth, we decided, sure, I'll sign up for this time period. Let me be around in the 2020s. Sure, I would like to have a talk with my soul when I leave this planet and say, what were you thinking? But The point is that maybe the chaos does have a purpose. But the most important part is that I am responsible for taking the necessary actions. You are responsible for taking the necessary actions for yourself. I invite you to start thinking about what you believe. Do you still believe it? Be okay with wherever your answer is. And if you think you'd like to change that answer, take it into meditation. Think about what comes up. Spirit's very powerful in the silence. You know? I'm going to remind you that if you sit in the silence, if you do prayer, if you do meditation, whatever, that is not a waste of time. I have had conversations with people where they feel like they're not doing enough, right? And I'm going to encourage you, get rid of that error thinking. You don't need to think that way. It's not necessary. We're all doing stuff, right? I would invite you to consider to release any need to call people names, to get angry and judge, let it go. It's hard. You're going to have it. It's going to come up for you from time to time, and that's okay. Say, look at me, I'm being human again, right? Be gentle with yourself. But see how you can demonstrate using your spiritual power of understanding. See how you can demonstrate just love, compassion, peace, joy. You may be the only example that somebody sees. You don't know that, right? All right. Are you with me? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to end it there. Can't wait to hear what I have to say next week. And I just invite you, no matter what, to be gentle with self and gentle with others. And let's see what we can do for this world. And so it is. Amen.